The best gospel music on the web with the voice of inspiration.
I climbed up to the highest mountain, looked all around, couldn't find nobody. Went down into the deepest valley, looked all around down there, couldn't find nobody. I went across the deep blue sea, couldn't find one to compare to your grace, your love, your mercy. Nobody greater than you. I searched all over, couldn't find nobody. I looked high and low, still couldn't find nobody. Nobody greater. Nobody greater, no, nobody greater than you. Nobody can heal like you can. Oh, most holy one, you are the great I am. Awesome in all your ways, and mighty is your hand. You are he who carried out redemption's plan. You are he who carried out redemption's plan.
Searched all over, couldn't find nobody. I looked high and low, still couldn't find nobody.
Nobody great. Nobody greater, Jesus.
Nobody greater than you.
Nobody greater. Nobody greater, Jesus.
Nobody greater than you.
Nobody greater.
Nobody greater.
Couldn't find nobody.
Nobody greater.
Nobody greater than you.
Nobody greater than you.
Come on, nobody greater.
Nobody greater.
Nobody greater.
Nobody greater.
Nobody greater than you.
Nobody greater than you.
Nobody like you, Jesus. Nobody greater than you, God.
Nobody greater.
Oh.
Nobody greater.
Nobody greater.
Nobody greater than you.
That's what we came to say. Nobody greater.
Nobody greater.
No matter where you look or where you go.
Nobody greater.
Nobody greater.
Nobody greater than you.
Angels bow before you. Heaven and earth adore you. Nobody.
Nobody greater.
We came to lift you up.
I want to ask you a question. I want to know, have you ever been so sick you couldn't pray? You never experienced it, you just keep on living. I can talk about it tonight because I've experienced it. I recall September 71. I went into the hospital because I was becoming paralyzed. The doctor said I had 2 herniated discs in my spine that needed to be removed. But I was afraid to go through with that operation because I was told if the doctors made one mistake, I'd never walk again. But after lying there flat on my back from September until March 72, I thought about how I'd been traveling up and down the dangerous highways, singing and telling men and women that God is able. And here I'm lying in the hospital, afraid to go into that operating room. After I had taught with myself, then I had a talk with Dr. Jesus. I told him I would go in there if he would go with me. Speak to the doctors and tell the doctors what to do. The 29th day of March, I went into that operating room with no fear. I had to learn to walk again. I had to learn to use my hands again. But tonight I can say thank God. I can go anywhere. I can sit down to the piano and sing and play again. But so many nights while lying there in that hospital, my body was racked with pain. I was so sick I couldn't pray. The only thing I could do was just look up toward heaven and utter these words. Touch me, Lord Jesus. Thy hand of mercy. May each throbbing heartbeat
WODU, the heartbeat of Old Dominion. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me. He has anointed me to preach the good news through inspirational music. Good morning and welcome to the music ministry with the voice of inspiration. I hope that you can email and call a friend and let them know that we are now broadcasting live on the air. There's no doubt about it. I'm here today to bring you inspiration throughout your daily walk of life. So, how is your morning going so far? I hope that you're feeling blessed to be in the land of the living. So, if everything is all right with you today, and the reason why I'm talking the way I am because I'm looking for something that I can, I'm looking for where is it? It's always somewhere. But it's never that they come in and never shut down the studio like it's supposed to be done is unprofessional, unbelievable. But nevertheless, you keep moving forward and keep praying because the devil is a lie. The devil always try to interrupt your program. But what I do is keep on moving forward because I know that that's what it's all about, to keep you from moving forward and having a blessed show and be able to send praises out in the name of the Holy Father. Whatever you might be going through, whatever your needs might be, always remember one thing. You can take it to the Lord and leave it there. You just heard, "Touch Me, Lord Jesus." That's one of those great classic gospel songs, traditional music. Somewhere along the way, we done lost it. We done lost to share love. We done lost to have compassion. And that's what Jesus Christ said before he left earth. He said, show compassion to your fellow man, even unto your enemies. You know, it's all about love. God is love. Look what his son went through when he was here on earth, Jesus Christ. They lied on him. They talked about him, mistreated him. They whipped him before they crucified him and put a crown of thorns on his head and pierced him in his side. And we sit and wonder why we go through the things we go through. Because we are our Father's children, and Jesus is our brother. So what more in a family tree? That's why you have to keep the faith, keep believing, and know that I am that I am. That's all you got to remember. And have love in your heart. Everything's going to work out. I hope you ready for some good gospel music. We got a lot today, so I'm going to get out, dispense with the talk, get into the music. Coming up here is Juanita Wynn. I'm talking about Be Yourself right here on the Inspirational Hour with the voice of inspiration. You're listening and viewing the Let's Give Praise Music Ministry on WODU, the heartbeat of Old Dominion.
Struggle when you're trying hard just to prove that you can be just like them, and all the while you're losing you. Do I do things different than the way you do? Well, I'm so sorry, 'cause I was created to be me, not you. Listen, honey, you can only be because I want you to like it, and I know if you don't, then I'm a fashion fail. Oh, senseless judgment. I believe in the weak, and you believe in the weak. They gotta grow together, and when it's harvest time, we're all gonna see who you'll be.
somebody he's God, and he don't need nobody else. There's no question of your greatness, no searching of your power. Oh, the wonder of your glory. To you 40 years is but 1 hour. Your knowledge is all encompassing. To your wisdom there is no end. Oh, for you alone are God. You are God alone. Your mercy is everlasting. Your truth is here always. You are he who was and is to come. Who is he that can number your days? You flung the sun to burn in space, and the night's moon powers light from day. Oh, you alone. You're God. You're God. Elohim. You're everything I need. You are God alone. Now unto the King.
Now unto the King. Turn on, immortal, invisible.
The only wise God.
The only wise God.
Ooh.
The only wise God.
You're God. No one else compares to you, Lord. Alone. Now unto the King.
Now unto the King.
Eternal.
Turn on, immortal, invisible.
The only wise God.
The only wise God.
The only wise God.
The only wise God.
You alone are God. No one else compares to you. You alone are God. You're everything that I need. Alone. Be all glory and honor, dominion and power forever and ever. Amen. Be all glory. Hallelujah. And honor, dominion and power forever and ever. Amen. Be all. Oh, he deserves all the praise and honor and glory. Hallelujah. Forever. Come on, begin to minister to him tonight. Amen. Be all glory, dominion, and power forever and ever. Amen. Be all
WODU, the heartbeat of Old Dominion. You're listening and watching the Let's Get Praise Music Ministry with the voice of inspiration. In the background, that's Marvin Sapp. You are God alone. Want to let you know the guest today on the Best of the 757 Community Talk Show, Best of the 757, that is, it's coming in from the communities of schools of Hampton Roads with Executive Director Dr. Hope Sinclair and guests. Hope you'll join me and join my guests at 12 noon as we go live to give you information about what they're doing in the community to help our youth throughout the 757. We'll give you more details. That'll be all coming up at 12. Yeah, like I said, that's Marvin Sapp in the back. Coming up next, I got some Tammy Boom Little. It isn't easy, Lord. Like I told you before, I bring you the very best of inspirational music because I want you to be touched. I want you to know the anointing of the Holy Spirit on this beautiful, blessed Tuesday. Want to send a condolences once again out to Maxine Cherry, who lost her aunt last week, who was laid to rest on Saturday. But remember, when we're absent in the body, we are in the spirit with our Heavenly Father. You're listening and watching WODU, the heartbeat of Old Dominion, as we continue with the very best of inspirational music.
Each day can be used. Oh, let me be an example, oh Lord, to those who are confused.
Come on, everybody, open your mouth and worship the Lord. He's worthy of the glory. He deserves the praise today. Come on, everybody, all over the room, open your mouth and worship Him. Lift your hands and bless Him in this place.
Real simple song. Goes like this. My hallelujah belongs to you. Oh Lord, my hallelujah belongs to you. My hallelujah belongs to you. Oh Lord, yes. My hallelujah belongs to you. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it. My hallelujah. Sing it, y'all. Come on, y'all got it. Come on, say, my hallelujah. From the bottom of your heart, lift your voice. My hallelujah. Lord, my hallelujah. Yeah. Then we simply say, you deserve it. Real simple, say it, church. From the bottom of your heart, tell the Lord, you deserve it, Lord, yeah. Now sing, all of the glory, yeah. Everything I give you, Lord, everything I owe you, Lord, it belongs to you. All of the glory belongs to you. Y'all got it now? Come on, say it. All of the glory, Lord. Everybody lift your hands right here and say, you deserve it. You deserve it. Yeah. From the bottom of my heart, Lord, I say, from the depths of my heart, with you. Can we lift our hands together one time? My hallelujah belongs to you. Everybody, come on in concert and say it.
My hallelujah belongs to you. My hallelujah belongs to
WODU. The best gospel music on the web with the voice of inspiration.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Let's do it right here. Everybody go tell it on over, oh, and everywhere. Oh, go tell it on that Jesus is. How many believe He is Lord? Oh my, said I'm talking about that man named Jesus. Let me tell you what He done for me and how He set me free. Listen, I was a wretch undone until my God came and gave me His only Son. Son came to show me. He came and showed me the way. Told Him all that day. I told Him that I promise I'll tell Him. Told Him, Lord, I will. I promise I'll tell Him. Tell everybody just how good He's been. Tell Him all the ways He made. How He opened doors that was closed in my face. Tell everybody what old Isaiah said. He was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquity. All the chastisement of our peace was upon Him. By His stripes we're already here. I need you to know you're already here. Let's take a little higher, see. Well, I promise, just I will. I promise to the Lord, tell everybody, everywhere I go, that He still lives, that He still lives. Y'all wanna come on in here. Say it again, say it. That ain't the one I want. Y'all know how I like it. Say it. That sound all right. My. Can I get a witness here? Let me hear it on and say, yeah. I promised the Lord, gotta let the world know. I told the Lord that when He saved me, turned my life around, put me on the right road, the road called straight. He didn't leave me, He stayed right there. He walked with me every step of the way, and I'm glad about it. I'm glad about it. Nobody but Jesus.
The enemy came up against your home. The enemy came up against your children. The enemy came up against your name. The enemy came up against your character. You will win. You will win.
enemy came up against your health. The enemy came up against your finances. The enemy came up against your vision. The enemy came up against your business. You will win. Oh, you will win. Yes, you will.
WODU, the heartbeat of Old Dominion. You will win. You will win. All you got to do is keep the faith. Hold on to an unchanging hand, because that's what he said do. You're listening and watching the Let's Get Praise Music Ministry with the voice of inspiration. As we continue, don't forget, we got guests at 12 o'clock that will be at 12 noon on the Best of the 757. As we continue with the best of inspirational music, this one is entitled Wind Blowing, right here on the Let's Get Praise Music Ministry. It's misunderstood. And remember, love yourself and always put God first. You're listening and watching WODU. It's the heartbeat of Old Dominion.
See where it takes me. Just go with the flow, love. You never know what will end up. I wanna go where the wind blows.
The story of Stanley Watson.
Let's go. I wanna say, I need to say, I gotta say thank you, thank you, thank you. I wanna say, I need to say, I gotta say thank you for changing me, delivering me. Thank you, thank you. I was homeless and on drugs. I didn't know what to do, I felt no love. It was the enemy trying to make me crazy, keep me down and out and right lazy. Situation didn't get no better. I lost my sister, we were just together. I didn't know what to do at that time. I got on my knees and prayed to Jesus Christ. I wanna say, I need to say, I gotta say thank you, thank you. I wanna say, I need to say, I gotta say thank you, for changing me, delivering me, thank you. Yeah. I was driving mom's truck one night, fighting religion and Christ. Didn't know what to do with my life, so I did things that wasn't right. I was sad cause I had no dad. Believe me, y'all, I was mad. But God came, things weren't the same. He turned me around and changed my name. I wanna say, I need to say, I gotta say thank you, thank you. I wanna say, I need to say, I gotta say thank you for changing me, delivering me. Thank you, thank you. Now that is over, I can live again. Trust in the Lord once again. God took me out of the lion's den. Now I can make it. Devil, you're not gonna win. No. I need to say, I gotta say thank you, thank you. I wanna say, I need to say, I gotta say thank you, thank you, Lord, for changing me, delivering me, thank you. Yeah. Thank you, I thank you, Lord, thank you. I thank you, Lord, thank you. I thank you, Lord, thank you. I thank you, I thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, thank you. I thank you, thank you. I thank you, Lord, yeah. Thank you, I thank you, I thank you. The Bible says, the enemy meant for bad, God's gonna turn around for my good. I wanna say, I need to say, I gotta say thank you, thank you. I wanna say, I need to say, I gotta say thank you, for changing me, delivering me, Lord. Thank you, Lord, yes. I wanna say, I need to say, I gotta say thank you, thank you. I wanna say, I need to say, I gotta say thank you, for changing, delivering me. Oh, hallelujah, thank you, Lord, yeah. Hey, I wanna say, I need to say, I gotta say thank you, I wanna say, I need to say, I gotta say thank you.
Didn't you hear me tell you to clean up your room? Why is your room not clean? Why is it taking you so long? We have somewhere to go. I'm tired of being late because you don't have your stuff together. You know what? If you're not ready, I'm just gonna leave you because this right here, I can't take it. Oh, Mama. Mama's a rock star. Hey, she's fly, and you can't deny it. Even in her drop top, no, she look hot, and you can't deny it. Mama's a rock star. Hey, she's fly, and you can't deny it. Even in her
right now. Clap your hands. Come on. Come on, let's have some old-fashioned church night. Because it's an old saints praise. I want my daughter Bonita to get us started with this old song.
Reach out and touch the Lord as He goes by.
All right.
You will find Him not too busy to hear your cry. He is passing by each moment. Your need He will supply. Just reach out and touch the Lord as He goes by. Oh, reach out and touch the Lord as He goes by. You will find Him not too busy to hear your cry. He is passing by each moment. All of your needs He will supply. Just reach out and touch the Lord as He goes by. Yeah.
That's all right now.
Oh, yeah.
James, I want you to sing another old song for us. Come on. I'm a soldier. That's what I'm talking about. I'm a soldier, yeah. Yes, I am. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. Well, I'm fighting for my life. Yes, I'm fighting for my life. Well, I'm fighting for my life. Yeah. Yes, I'm fighting for my life. Yes, sir. It's all right. Hallelujah. Deborah,
Yeah.
I remember when I was a small boy, I used to hear a song on the radio called Sweet Home. Come on, Deborah, and sing it for me.
Sweet home, sweet home, sweet home, sweet home, sweet home, sweet home. Oh, Lord, I wonder, will I ever get home?
Come on, say that again for me.
Sweet home, sweet home, sweet home, sweet home, sweet home. Oh, no, Lord, I wonder, will I ever get home?
Hey, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that kind of singing. Oh, I like that too. I gotta get mine in now. Go ahead, sir. I remember we used to have the testimony service. Yes, sir. There was a lady that would stand up and testify. And before she gave her testimony, she would sing a song that said these words. She would say, my whole body, my whole body, my whole body belongs to God. Come on, Jake. My whole body, my whole body, my whole body belongs to God. My mind belongs to God. What you say, Jake? My heart belongs to God. My hands, they belong to God. And both of my feet, they belong
WODU, the heartbeat of Old Dominion, and you're listening and watching the best of the 757 Community Talk Show, because that's what I do. I play the best and bring the best. And while we are waiting on Facebook to send out some messages, what I'm going to do is wait for that to happen and get set up here so I can introduce our guest that we have today in the studios. Because I want you to be able to get all the information you can from this young lady about what's going on and how she does what she do. So nevertheless, if you're watching right now, I want you to go ahead and hit that share button as there you go. Everything's up there. You up there now. We up there. We in there. We in there live. Well, let me turn that off. That's what I got to do. I keep forgetting to turn that button on so I won't get no feedback in my mic. There I go. There I go. There I go. There I go. Yeah, like I said, as we get ready to hit the share button, and I want you to invite your friends and wherever you might be at, if you're at work, I want you to be aware that we are here to bring you people to inspire and motivate and give you information about what's going on in the community. And that's what it's all about. When we go back to this computer, then I'll be able to do what I need to get done. There's always something when you work by yourself. Let me see where I'm at. When I bring that page up, and I'll be good to go in about 2 seconds. 2 shakes of a lamb's tail, as they say. I hope that everybody's having a great day, and hope that you've been blessed to be in a good mood and meet some exciting people.
Yeah.
You know, but I was looking for my my list, and it's always somewhere I can't find it to introduce yourself. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let you do it.
There you go.
You know, make sure your mic is on. Yeah, that's it. That's on. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, you there? I mean, go ahead. I'm trying to adjust your mic so that She's an executive director. Let me see, can I pull it up? I got to go here and come back to that page. Let me get to my page with all my information on it, then I can come back to the other page. You know, things never work the way you want it when they're supposed to.
Nope, but it's okay. You'll get it.
Yeah.
We'll get it.
Yeah.
And if not, I am here.
I just want to make sure I got your mic up.
Okay.
You know, that's what I'm trying to adjust because they just knobs on things. Today, our guest is coming from, excuse me, the communities of schools of Hampton Roads, the executive director, Dr. Hope Sinclair.
Yes, Sinclair.
Yeah, and unfortunately, your co-host wasn't able to make it.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
So how you doing?
I'm great.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
great.
good.
I'm blessed to be here, and I appreciate the offer and opportunity.
Well, it's always good to have. We want our community. Reason why we created this show to call it the best of the 757 because we want the community to be aware that we care about.
Absolutely.
And that's why I'm always grateful when people take an invitation and show up.
Right.
So that our community will know what's going on and it'll be able to help them understand what needs to be done and what needs to be carried out. Miss Sinclair, Dr. Sinclair.
Yes.
Let's start with you.
Okay.
Let's learn a little bit about you.
Okay.
I know you got the title doctor in front of your name.
Yes.
And what school you graduate from and where you're from and
okay.
How did you get started?
Okay, so I am actually from Chesapeake, Virginia. Okay. Born and raised, graduated from Oscar Smith High School way back in the day.
Okay.
Seems like, but it was only 1999.
Okay.
The best year ever. So I've left Hampton Roads in 99, went to undergrad at Johnson C. Smith University in Charlotte. Then I did a graduate program at North Carolina Central. Came back, did another graduate program at Norfolk State. And then finally went on and finished my PhD at the Chicago School of Professional Psychology.
Wow.
And that's where I ended up getting my PhD.
Oh, Congratulations.
Yes.
It's always, I call it uplifting in the Black Queens. A new thing I'm starting on Facebook and on the internet.
Awesome.
Yeah, because we have to recognize those that who have put in the work and the time.
Absolutely.
You know, so that we can be able to find those people that can help in our community.
Right.
You know.
You're right.
And after we got all that great information about, you know, your education and history, now tell us about your organization.
Yes. So Communities and Schools of Hampton Roads, we are an affiliate of a national program that's been around for over 40 years. We are a national dropout prevention program. We're housed in 12 schools throughout Hampton Roads, and we have a site coordinator placed at each of those 12 schools. And what they're doing is they're case managing 5 to 10% of the student population. And that's to help these students that may have any type of barrier before them that will help them remain in school and graduate on time. So our ultimate goal is to ensure that these students are graduating on time. Our site coordinators are tracking and making sure that what we're doing is successful by tracking their grades, attendance, and behaviors. So as long as the programs that we provide them or the resources that we're giving them, the basic needs that we're meeting with them and the families, our site coordinators can ensure that that is being successful by the increase in the grades, the increase in their attendance, and the decrease in any poor behaviors that they may be having within the school.
So are you saying, again, how many schools are you?
12.
12?
So right now we're in 12.
Okay.
So we're in 5 in Norfolk. We're at Chesterfield Academy, Suburban Park Elementary for their after-school 21st Century Grant Program. We're in Granby High School. We're in Ruffner Academy, as well as Booker T High School. In Virginia Beach, we have 3 schools. We have Betty F. Williams, Bayside 6, and Bayside Middle. In Hampton, we have Hampton High School, and we're also servicing a portion of what was once called the Performance Learning Center. So some students also in Hampton that we're also servicing with some of our interns. And then we're in Portsmouth at IC Norcom and Craddock Middle School. And then we have an elementary school in Suffolk called Elephants Fork Elementary School.
Yeah, you all over.
All over.
Best of the 757. That's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
You know, it's great to see that there's an organization, you know, dealing with that level of school. You just in middle schools?
No, it's all levels. It's a K-12 model.
Okay.
Yep, so it is a K-12 model, and the idea is that we receive these students or get these students in elementary school, and we follow them all the way out throughout high school and graduation.
Oh, wow, that's great.
Yes.
How do you get into the schools? Is that something that the school itself does, or do you have to go out and solicit, you know, the school board or the schools that you want to target?
Yes, so it's both. So we're soliciting the school board, and then also we're asking them where do they see the greatest need. So where would we need to be, and then the school, we'd have to have meetings with the school, and then the school will let us know if that's a program or if we're a program that they'd like to accept. So it's pretty much both.
So with your program, you know, with all the bullying going on in school, do you touch on those subjects?
Absolutely.
And
so October is National Bullying Month, or Anti-Bullying Month.
Okay.
They bring awareness to it. So October 24th, we have individuals wear orange, and then they have different partners throughout the community who come in and actually speak to the students on bullying.
Okay.
So a lot of different opportunities like that.
Okay.
We also provide mentors and tutors, and we can't do any of this without our community partners. So we partner with a lot of organizations and a lot of individuals who want to give back and, you know, just don't have the means of finding out how to exactly do that. So coming under our umbrella is the easiest way for those individuals to do that, or one of the easier ways for them to do that.
Is when you say come under your umbrella, do they have to be a church base, 501c base, or how do they come? You know, how do How do they have to, engage?
I got you. So what they do, they can reach out to us. So they're either in the school, they'll see one of our site coordinators. They can go to our website, and we have a volunteer sign-up page. They sign up, complete the background check for the particular school district that they want to work in. And then once that background check is complete, they'll reach out to me or the site coordinator and let one of us know exactly what it is they want to do. So a lot of times we have those partner meetings ahead of time and in advance to figure out what it is that we're doing in the school, how they can help, and then we're bridging that gap of what the school needs and what the individual volunteer would like to do for those students.
How do the kids, I mean, when you're working with them, how do they respond to your curriculum or the activities that you put before them?
Our students are very receptive. Of course, with any program or any individual you meet, you have to build rapport. And our site coordinators have done a phenomenal job in building rapport with those students that they're working with. Our founder, Bill Milliken, once stated that it's relationships that change people, not programs. So we're ensuring that these students are getting that relationship with that caring adult that they need. And it's not to say that teachers aren't the caring adult or administrators or staff personnel in the school, but sometimes they're overwhelmed with 30 students at a time in their offices or in their classrooms. And instead of them having to play mother, doctor, physician, and all of those individual pieces as a teacher, what the teacher can do is reach out to that site coordinator, and we can alleviate some of those through our services as well as through our partner services. So we're just trying to be a help and a resource to the school, as well as the staff, the teachers, the administrators, and that student and their families.
And you said that students are receptive. How's the parents? Are the parents receptive? Do they like, what's going on? And is there an evaluation that you do with the students?
Yes. So every student, when they're referred to us, a parent has to sign the consent form. So parents have to be on board. We cannot work with a student under the age of 18 unless that consent form is signed. And the consent form kind of outlines everything that we do. So the parent gets that basic information, and then we're able to reach out to the parent to give them more detailed information regarding what we're doing. So parents have been on board. They are very receptive. And we try to be as much of a help to the parent as possible. So this year what we're incorporating is a lot of parenting groups or support groups for parents. What can we do to better assist the parents and their as they're helping their student get through school? So that's a lot of what we're doing, and they have been very receptive thus far. Absolutely.
Exciting to know. My sons, we stay in Virginia Beach, so I had 4 sons that graduated from, went through Bayside Middle and graduated from Bayside High.
Awesome.
And they all, the last one just graduated a couple of years, a year ago, because he went last year to Tidewaters. But he likes to work on projects. He's working on his music. So he said, was going to go in the Navy, but he said I cried too much, so he decided not to go.
Gotcha.
Any excuse? No, but he did what that he really was. He was already trained and took the meds and stuff, and he just had to go back and get something done.
Awesome.
But when you talk about young people with the situation that's going on in the world today, with violence and stuff, do you touch about the violence?
Yes.
And
Yes, so we touch about everything. So as we meet with these students, we have to meet with them at least once individually, at least once a month individually. And during this monthly check-in, these students are disclosing quite a bit of things that may be going on outside of school, as well as in school. And we'll touch on everything. So even if we're not touching on it or it's beyond our expertise, we have a plethora of other people who are experts in the field, and they'll come in and also speak to the student one-on-one. So we have a number of people who don't mind doing that and can simply address it as professional as possible and on that student's level. So whatever level the student comes to us on, we have those individual resources who can definitely make sure that they're addressing the problems that the students are presenting to us.
Yes. I want to send a shout out to Miss Boyd, Robert Scooby, and to Jacoby, who's watching right now.
Awesome.
If y'all have any questions you'd like to ask Miss Sinclair, please don't hesitate to type it in and, get some information that might help change and save some young person's life. Do you talk about, or do you bring in people to talk about suicide?
Yes, absolutely. So it's been a big topic that's come up recently and lately. So we definitely have individuals who will come in and address that. And then as well as partnering with what's already there, which are the school counselors and the psychologists and social workers in the school who are doing a phenomenal job. We also partner with them in case they need extra assistance or individuals to come in as well to assist. So we're always talking about those topics.
That's good. Do you work closely with the police department
Yes.
or and other professionals that's in the community?
Yes.
How's the response with the young people when engaging? Do they do one-on-one or they talk as a group?
So it depends. One of the programs that the police department and sheriff department in Suffolk completed, what they actually did our anti-bullying program for that school 2 years ago. So they came in and they talked to each classroom collectively, or each class level collectively, and had a great response. And sometimes they'll sit down afterwards and actually communicate with those individuals to let them know what's right, what's wrong. And I know Portsmouth at IC Norcom a few years back as well, they had the police department come in to allow the students to ask questions in a non-hostile, non-dangerous, very calm type way, and they all sat down and spoke to the students about what was going on in the community as well as nationally.
Well, I have, in the past, when you say talk to kids, and I've done, used to do teen dances, all the 7 cities, and to give them activities, because I tell people, our kids sit home and have no activities.
Right.
While everybody else is on in the commercials at Busch Gardens.
Right.
But you don't see us at Busch Gardens in the TV commercial.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to understand is when our kids watch commercials where other kids are having fun,
right?
They'll probably, because I'm saying it, I know they got to be saying it, why ain't we having fun? Right. And I know sometimes there's a lot of single families out there, and parents sometimes are working 2 and 3 jobs to make ends meet, and it still ain't making it, and you can't afford those $45 and $50 tickets,
right?
And you might have 2 or 3 kids. Do you think that has an impact, psychological, a psychological effect? 'Cause that's my opinion, but you're the professional. Do you think that has an effect on the Afro-American community when they don't see, a lot? Well, today you're seeing a lot more commercials with Afro-Americans in it, but in the past, a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago, you didn't see as many. Right. But do you think that plays a role on how a young person feels?
Absolutely. I definitely believe, especially now in the media world, everything plays an impact on how someone feels or how someone perceives something to be. What we're trying to do to our students specifically is we want to make sure that we're exposing them to as many opportunities as possible, and we're not a financial burden on the student. So we don't provide programs where they'll have a high cost or a cost associated pretty much at all. If we do have a program that costs, we first go into the community to see if we have a partner who can pay for these students to be exposed to these different opportunities. Right. I actually was the first hire, so CIS of Hampton Roads has only been in existence since 2012, November of 2012, and I was their first hire in April of 2013. So our students were able to go to some parks, some theme parks. And those theme parks, as long as you ask in advance, they actually have been able to get you the funding far in advance. They'll give you tickets.
Oh, okay.
So it's a matter of asking and, you having the population that will be able to receive those tickets. And we tend to take our students.
Oh, okay. So when you take students places, do you look for, do you have to have chaperones, volunteers to go along with that?
Absolutely.
So do they have to also be certified, or?
They just have to have the background check. And if they go to our website, which is cisofhamptonroads.org, you can go to our website and you can but you can click on volunteer and tell us what city you want to volunteer in, and that'll be the perfect opportunity.
Okay.
They would have to complete that background check that I spoke about earlier.
That's what I wanted to make sure, because when you want to make sure you got the right people.
Yes.
In place.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I also want to send a shout out to Mr. Palmham II, who's watching.
How you doing?
If y'all have any questions, don't hesitate to type in. You know, y'all sitting there silent. I know you probably got a cup of coffee. I ain't gonna call no name of companies because they ain't sponsoring this show, so they ain't getting you no free endorsement. But we got a guest here, and it's an opportunity to find out information. You might have a daughter or a son that need help, or you might have a niece or nephew that you might be able to tell your sister or your brother or cousin, hey, look, this is the program that you've been looking for.
Right.
Does it cost anything to be involved in your program?
No. So we're very different. Some people may have heard of TDT, which is therapeutic day treatment, and you need Medicaid to be a part of that. Whereas our program, you don't need to have any type of insurance, any type of Medicaid or anything like that. As long as you're in one of the schools that we're involved in, you have the opportunity to receive our services.
Oh, that's good. Because like I said, there's a lot of parents or single parents houses, and they don't, always, looking for some program, but sometimes it's a financial burden when they don't have the accessibility to extra cash.
Right. Right.
I'll put it that way.
Yes.
I'm not gonna say broke. I mean, but it is what it is.
Right.
As they say, let's keep it real.
Right.
And by keeping it real, we have to combine our efforts,
right,
so that people can, we can work together, because it's no I in team.
Right.
Like I talk to people all the time. Neighbors, they run me in because they're like, I came out to smoke a cigarette, and I've been out here 2 hours. I shouldn't even say good evening to him.
Right.
See what I done got myself into, But it's that we don't talk like we used to back in the day.
Right.
The neighbors, you stand next door, you're in apartments now, you're in condominiums. You don't even, when you walk out your house, you just look straight down.
Yeah.
So you don't get eye contact. Because when you make eye contact, it's like, They're gonna start talking. I got to go to a meeting. I just wanted to go to the store, get my beer before that football game starts.
Right.
Right. I don't even want to know what team I watch. Right. Why do you feel? I mean, why do you feel that we don't communicate as much as we used to?
Media has made it easy for us not to. So I can easily send you a text, and if you don't have the time to answer it, you can always come back to it later. Yeah. I can shoot you an email. I can see what you're doing based off of what's going on Facebook.
Right.
So I don't have to necessarily, or what some people may think is, I don't have to build that relationship with you, because some people put a lot of their business or situations on social media. So I can figure it out all based off of your post.
Yeah. And that's like, as they said, that's keeping it real.
Right.
Some things you need to keep. you need to keep it in the fantasy of your mind, right, in the back of your mind, because some things don't need to be on Facebook.
Right.
And lately, Facebook, they get mad when I go up there, because I check all mine before I go all the way down, stroll all the way down to the end of the page. And the things that you see at the end of the page ain't what you see at the beginning.
Right. I got you.
And then when I delete them, I'm getting a message from Facebook, you are deleting too many people.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, well, do you see what they're putting on Facebook?
Right. Right.
I don't want that on my page. So either I delete them or you can delete me.
Right.
Because I go down, because, people are duplicate people pages. And one thing, when they duplicate, when I already know them for the last 10 years or more, I know how many people that they got on their page, and I know they got more than 10.
Right. Right.
When they're duplicating people pages. And I just got off, just get off one person's page, and then you go to, and I just got off that page, and then it's popping up, hey, and I want to be your friend.
Right.
How you gonna be my friend? You're already
mine.
So
right.
These are the things that our young people are faced with. A lot of being bombarded with a lot of negativity, being bullied on the internet, and it's a lot of obstacles in their way.
Right.
But it seems like your program is something that they can get engaged in and become more positive thinking.
Absolutely.
Be more conscious of how they feel about themselves.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We are on social media as well.
Okay.
Speaking of social media, so we're at CISOFHR, which is CIS of Hampton Roads. And we do post, so individuals who may not have jobs, if we have job opportunities for adults and even for students, we do post those online. We have a number of partners that send us information, and we try to make sure we're keeping our followers abreast of what's going on in the community. So we do post a lot of those opportunities on our social media pages, as well as our website, and that's at cisofhamptonroads.org.
One of the things I wanted to question, I don't know if you do it or not, but I usually ask this question when I do have guests that work with young people. Do they ever take the kid, you take them on field trips?
Yes.
Do you ever take them to a senior citizen home?
Yes. So our Suffolk site coordinator is actually doing one coming up soon. We have been for the past, so this will be our second year going to one of the senior citizen homes and singing them Christmas carols.
Oh, okay.
So that's been a very fun experience for those elementary students. And then some of our high school students have also been to some of those as well and volunteered.
Oh, okay.
So we do try to give our students the opportunity to give back to the community as well.
That's a key component. I worked in the senior citizen in Virginia Beach 6 or 7 years ago, me and my wife, and it's a lot of teachers that are in those senior citizens.
Absolutely.
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 And like I study and watch everything, and sometimes when they are dropped off, and their kids will pick them up, or someone will pick them up. But they sit there a lot of hours with nobody to talk to,
Yeah.
And that's why you volunteer, so that they'll have someone, to sit down and play a game, or they,
just
talk to and paint their nails and stuff.
Absolutely.
But I notice when young people come in, and they have some young people that did come in there and they volunteered, that they would sit down and their face will light up, and it's like anything else. It's like, I got a building. That building is empty. Hey, let's call it a senior citizen place.
Right.
And open them up all over the world, all over the United States, to make money.
Right.
Because we got to tell people when they get a certain age, they owe.
Right.
To change their consciousness.
Right.
To make them, because the Bible said what you think it is what a man becometh. So if I tell you that you owe, you'll start thinking that, hey, I can't do anything.
Right.
But when they sit there and people come in and engage with them, playing music, they get up and dance, they're moving. I'm just trying to figure out why that we don't bring more young people, on a basis to those places.
Right.
Because it serves two purposes.
Absolutely.
It'll serve the elderly, and it will serve the young person, because the knowledge is in the wisdom of the elders.
Yep, you're 100% correct.
So
Absolutely.
I grew up with my mom and sisters. She had 7 sisters and 1 brother. So it was like a family of 9. But when they would come down from North Carolina, they sit around and they talk and explain things of how this was and how that was, because my great-grandmother, I think she lived to be 105 or 8.
That's awesome.
And my mom, used to tell us all the things that the books are not telling us.
Right.
Like who really discovered electricity.
Right.
On a kite.
Right.
On a cotton kite that flied up in the air with a key on the other end of it, and you caught electricity. Never happened. And they say that today.
Right.
They run a commercial, this new company that came out with this electrical circus they're doing.
Okay.
Saying that never happened.
Wow.
They're now saying that never happened.
Wow.
Which I knew that about 40 years ago.
Right.
But, who's me? I'm just a ordinary kid that don't know nothing.
I understand.
But what we do is it diminish young people's dreams and hopes of becoming something.
Right.
So when they see you, and I'm pretty sure young ladies ask you how long it took for you to get that doctorate degree, and why you decided to do it.
Right.
Yes, why did you decide to do it? Just because you want to go to school and get a doctorate degree in what you're doing, why did you specifically choose to do what you're doing?
A lot of times people will try to say that you can't do something, or, it's a waste of time. But I had already set my mind out when I was in undergrad, and one of my professors was very young, looked just like me.
Okay.
And she had her PhD.
Oh.
And I said, well, explain this PhD to me. And she explained it to me. And from there out, it was two of us that had gone on to say, oh, yeah, that's what we're going to do. So my line sister, or a really, really good friend, Donisha, she actually finished hers before me. She got her PsyD. So it took me a little longer than I had hoped. But the point was I didn't give up. So I never failed. So failing is when you stop and it's like, okay, I'm just not going to do it. So I did stop a few times.
Okay.
But I went back to pursue it and finished it. So now what I try to explain to the kids is I can take almost anything from you.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot take your education from you.
Right.
I cannot take what you've learned. I cannot take what you've earned educationally from you.
Okay.
So if it's a dream that you have, go after that dream, pursue that dream. Just stay true to yourself. And if it takes you a lot longer than you hope or anticipate taking you, it's okay.
Yeah.
As long as you finish it and you finish it smiling, you're good to go.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's not easy when you constantly have to write papers, read a lot of books, cross-section, go to the library, go on internet today, and go to the, you got to get the right information, because you can't just go and get any information in college. It has to be a scholar. It's gotta be research papers,
Absolutely.
to do it. And but with young people, with them engaging with what you do in all these cities, do they look forward to you coming out?
So yes, and not me specifically, but the site coordinator.
Yes.
So when I was a site coordinator, absolutely, I'd like to think I was the best thing my kids saw that morning.
Right.
But of course, they'll tell me different. But they'll say, "Okay, Miss Hope, you all right." But my kids, which I've always called them my kids, because they're who I work for. They're who I look up to, because they're one day going to be running our country. They're one day going to be telling me what to do, so I tell them to do your due diligence and make sure that you're getting out of what we're trying to put in you. So we're planting seeds at this point, and we as the older adults have to remember, as we plant these seeds, everyone has the opportunity to water these seeds.
Right.
The foundation is built at home, and whether that be a rocky foundation or a not so good foundation, it's still built there. But the water that we're pouring on these seeds that are already coming to talk to us or seeing us as we pass, we have to remember that they're looking up to us. So it's something that you can say that's going to inspire this kid. It's something that you can say that could potentially deter the kid from being who he or she is supposed to be in life. But we just have to make sure that we're doing our due diligence by giving them what they need.
With that, are you you're the one? Do you plan the curriculum, or is a group or that does that?
Mm-hmm. So our site we don't have a curriculum.
Okay.
What we do is our site coordinators are assessing the need of the schools. Mm-hmm. They also assess the need of the students. So what we do at Booker T is not the same thing that we do at Granby, because they're two different schools. They have two separate needs.
Okay.
So we're trying to make sure that what we're providing at each school is based on what that school needs. So we're interviewing the principals, interviewing teachers, interviewing students, parents, staff members. Everyone gets the opportunity to complete a survey. And then based on that, we create what we call a needs assessment. And then from that needs assessment, we develop a school support plan. And our school support plan actually identifies what programs we would need to bring to the school to help what's already in the school. So we're not reinventing the wheel. We're taking the wheel that's already there and helping it to continue to grow these students to what they need to do to finish school successfully.
At the end of your program, is there a certificate they receive, or how you evaluate and reward them?
Right.
And how long do they have to stay in the program as well?
So they don't have a specific time. As long as they attend one of the schools that we're in, they can stay in if it's that feeder pattern, so they can stay in up on graduation. So it's no particular time limit, no particular time frame. If it's only one thing that they need and they prefer not to stay on the caseload, they don't necessarily have to stay on the caseload. So they can wean off the caseload at any moment that they deem necessary. If they come in one year and feel that they don't want to continue the following year, they don't have to be on the caseload. So it's not something that we're demanding that they do. We're hoping that the program is beneficial enough to them that they decide to stay and carry out being a part of the process. So they have goals that they identify at the beginning of the year, and they work through those goals throughout the end of the year. Some of our site coordinators do a program every quarter or every 9 weeks, and that's to award some of the students that have made honor roll.
Oh, okay.
So we have partners like Chick-fil-A in Suffolk who comes out and they bring the stuffed animals and they bring their cow in the uniform to promote these students who have done well for that 9 weeks. And then some of our other programs have awards, an award ceremony as well in conjunction with the school, and they identify the students who have also made honor roll or improved.
Right.
So, you know, if we do have baseline data, and the baseline data is their grades from the semester before. So those students get the opportunity to see their improvement based on where they came from to where they are now.
Oh, okay. I want to send some shouts out to some people that's watching.
Sure.
Send a shout out to Alston and Aaron Moore, Ernest, and Earl Lewis, who's watching, who was a guest over here several weeks ago.
Awesome.
He's watching as well. Fine young man. He's working with he has an organization. If you're still watching Earl Lewis, put the name of your organization in there so people can be aware of what you're doing and what your organization is all about. His is about trying to stop gun violence.
Oh, awesome!
And because his nephew who was shot over in Portsmouth.
Gotcha.
By the police officer.
Oh, okay.
He's been involved around traveling to different states and working with organizations to try to shed light on trying to change the atmosphere and attitude towards police officers and gun violence.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
awesome.
He's a fine gentleman.
So I do have two things, if
yes,
you don't mind.
Ahead,
so
sure.
One thing is while individuals are here online, WAWA, if you go to the WAWA Foundation, you have the opportunity to vote for Communities in Schools as the hero, the nonprofit hero. So it's 4 organizations that were a part of their finalists, and CIS of Hampton Roads was one of those organizations. So if you type on the WAWA Foundation, you'll be voting for the Hampton Roads Peninsula area, and Communities in Schools of Hampton Roads pops up immediately.
Oh, okay. I also want to send a shout out to Dana Tyler.
Okay.
Who's watching. So what is there, do your site also take donations, or do you look for donations? You look for sponsors?
Absolutely.
How can they do that as well?
So the other opportunity we have, the WAWA Foundation goes through December 4th. And we also have an opportunity for our golfers. So April 11th, 2019, we'd like for you all to go to our website so you can find out how you'd like to be a part of our first, and my development director, Johnny Watkins, would say our annual, because he wants to do it annually. Okay. Our first golf tournament has the opportunity for our golfers to come out. You can sign up as a team, or you can also figure out how you'd like to sponsor. So I drive you to our internet as soon as you type in cisofhamptonroads.org. The website pops up and the flyer will come up. And then if you click on that flyer, it'll take you directly to the golf tournament sign-up page. Another way, if you don't want to golf or don't want to donate via that page, the opportunity is also on our website, and it's a big, huge orange button that says Donate Now. If you'd like to be a sponsor or if you'd like to volunteer, you can do that through our website. Or if you'd like to shoot me an email, my email address is Sinclair, SINCLAIR, the letter H, at CISOFVA.org. So Sinclair H at CISofVirginia.org. And I can connect you where you need to be connected. If you have an organization that you'd like to get involved with some of our students to be in the schools, you can also use those same means to contact us. The phone number is on the website, so I'm trying to drive everyone to our website.
Right.
So you can, of course, see that golf tournament flyer that's posted up there, really, really big.
Yeah.
So just make sure you go to any of those websites to figure out how you can, or our website to figure out how we can partner.
Right, that's good. That's good. Also, want to send a shout out to Jimmy Vaughn, who's watching versus the Messenger, because like I said, we're on different formats,
Right.
you know, where people are watching and chiming in. And like I said, if, you know, all you young men out there that know how to swing a golf club, or do they have to be professional or just amateurish?
You can be whatever you want, and not just the men, the women
The
too.
women, too.
So we
Oh,
need
okay,
all of
okay,
you
hey.
out there swinging golf clubs.
Yeah, that's what we can do. We can get into the swing of it.
Absolutely.
You
And
know.
some of our students, we're hoping some of our students can come join us.
Okay.
They do have a small par that some of our students will be able to play on. And then some of the high school students could potentially be driving the golf carts and helping individuals. And then everybody will be there.
Yeah, everybody's, you know, working together to learn something new or continue your education in golf.
Absolutely.
Just want to send a shout out to Tara Green. Hey, Tara Green, type in the organization that you're involved in. She's from Portsmouth, if she's still watching. I keep forgetting that I don't have all my information right in front of me.
Right.
But she's an active person out in the community as well.
Awesome.
Dealing with young people and other community issues. You know, so like we have a lot of people that get involved and try to help out, try to, you know, to encourage young people to be have a positive mindset and to want to do better with their lives.
Right.
And it takes a person that cares, that this will kind of like show to the young person that somebody really cares.
Right.
You know, like I tell people, I don't do this. This is volunteer work that I do.
My site coordinators will agree.
Yeah. And it's not always about the money. It's about trying to help
Absolutely.
somebody. I mean, if like I tell people, the oldest book on the planet, and they won't read it.
No.
They won't follow the directions. I'm just gonna say Bible, you know, Bible. I mean, you know, but the oldest book on the planet. But see, what man has done is fooled you and told you it was religion. It's nothing. Anything is religion. People don't understand is we sit here talking. That's a religion.
Right.
You go wash your car. That's a religion. It means something that you do all the time, consistently. But when you don't take the book and read it and feed your spirit, you're lost. So, you know, all these things that's going on because our young people, some may not be introduced to reading the scriptures. You know, I ain't talking about you got to get up and start preaching. Well, but you got to read it, because when you're sitting there quiet and you know, thinking about what you're going to do when somebody then says something that you didn't like, or says something about your mom, or walked up to you and punched you in your face and they bigger than you are, and you don't want to go to school the next day, if you'd have read the book, he wouldn't be punching you no more. Because it's something about the book that when you read it and you believe in it, that's why it's called a seed. Faith is a seed of a mustard seed, and it's no bigger than that. That if you learn to develop a sense of understanding that no man or no child can do it without that book. You know, you can walk straight as an arrow, but the devil's down behind you because he don't want you to win. You can't win the way you want, you know. And like I tell people, you can sell your soul. Yeah, you can win then, but I don't sell my soul. I don't have but one master. Right. Nobody has power over me. I let people know that when they, you know, when I'm engaging with people, you have no power over me. You know, when you come telling me I ain't got to do nothing. Only thing I got to do is die and pay taxes.
Right.
Other than that, you have no power over me. What I do, if my spirit leads me to do it, I will do it. I don't promise or make promises, or if I do something that I feel that was wrong, I will apologize. I don't have no problem with that. I don't have a problem saying I'm sorry. I don't have a problem saying forgive me. You know, I misunderstood, because I don't have to argue with anybody. You know, if you can't show love to people,
Right.
then what's the purpose of
Absolutely.
being angry? Why walk around like I was going to make this T-shirt saying space for rent, but not in my head. Because see, negativity lives in the space that you give it in your head. So if you kick it out, because it ain't paying no rent and it ain't paying no bills.
Right.
It's paying somebody else's bills, but it ain't gonna shouldn't live in your head. And with our young people, they don't understand that once you get angry, you can't erase something that you've done.
Right.
You have to learn to look at yourself and say, I'm better than that. How can you sit and watch somebody else be in pain
Absolutely.
and think that's funny? Right. And see a friend of yours be hurting, and tomorrow somebody comes say they committed suicide. Right. Or somebody got angry and they went and shot somebody in school. All you got to do is, ain't nobody shooting people when they're laughing. Ain't nobody shooting when they're happy.
Right.
That's a person that's unhappy.
Yep.
And everybody needs love. This is the most powerful word on the planet, love. It separates the darkness from the light. And I can go on, but I'm not a preacher. Want to send some shouts out to LaTanya and Ricky, who's watching. And I know LaTanya is watching from North Carolina.
Awesome.
You know, so, but I'm hoping to get her on the show to talk about her experience. She's a young lady that adopts kids.
Awesome.
And she's amazing.
That's awesome.
You know, went to school and graduated and, you know, operate her business from home.
I love it.
You know, so the things that the people that we have out here in our community that doesn't even or ever get recognition.
Right.
And this is why I was glad that you took the invitation to come over and explain. And for those people that just listening, explain to you about your community and the name of it again.
Yes.
You know, so that they'll be aware of what we're talking about.
So we're a national dropout prevention program called Communities and Schools of Hampton Roads. We're housed in 12 schools throughout the area. We're in Norfolk, Portsmouth, Suffolk, Hampton, and Virginia Beach. We soon have a golf tournament coming up, April 11th, 2019. If you head on over to our website, cisofhamptonroads.org, you can actually click on the flyer and it'll take you directly to the page. Sign up so you can golf or sponsor. We'd love it if you can do both. And then we also are part of the WODU Foundation. So if you head on over to the WODU Foundation, it takes about 30 seconds. You can vote for Communities and Schools as your nonprofit hero.
Hey, that's great that, you have sponsors and to keep our young people motivated.
Absolutely.
Is there any other activities other than the program? Do you engage in field trips that you take them out to different places?
Yes.
That's part of the sponsorship that would help you with that.
Yep.
People will sponsor, a field trip or a couple of kids to be able to go on a field trip.
Absolutely. So that's what the proceeds from the golf tournament will support. Right. They'll support our site coordination services and making sure that the students are exposed to a number of different opportunities that they normally would not have.
That's great to know. It's always good to be able to help out, when it comes to our young people.
Absolutely.
Because they think people don't care.
Absolutely.
And if you really talk to them, I mean, like I said, I used to do teen dances and I talk to them, engage with them. And they'll be like, Mr. Vaughn, don't nobody care about us, I had to put a guy out one time for fighting in the club, and we were gonna put him in jail. But I told him, I said, this is what I'm gonna do, because I had my security put him in handcuffs, and I said, tell you what I'm gonna do. You can agree to do it or not. I said, do you want to go home? He said, yeah, I want to go home. I said, in order for you to go home, you got to help clean up this mess that you created. You were fighting, and you started this. Now, if you want to go home or you want to go to jail,
that's right.
You make the choice.
He cleaned up, right?
I'll give you a few minutes to do it. You know, I don't want to clean up. I said, well, you better think about it again because this is serious, partner.
Right.
I don't play. It's not a game.
Right.
See, it's not about, you know, like I tell people when you're doing things, you have to find a way to raise money. Okay? And then when I got to hire with teams, 20 to 30 security, outside security to keep people from rolling up on a parking lot.
Right.
And stuff. All these people got to be paid. So it is a fee when doing activities for young people.
Right.
So you think about it. He said, okay, I thought about it. I'll help clean up.
Clean up,
I said,
right.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
start picking it up. You ain't, want that much. I had the people there cleaning up anyway.
Right.
But I wanted to give him a choice. And he did clean up. And then he said, well, I said, well, do you have a ride? You have someone to call? He said, no, I'll just walk. I said, oh, no, not walking.
Yeah.
I'll take you home.
Awesome.
You know, so I took him to where he told me to let him out. He wouldn't let me take him to his house. And I said, okay, you have he said, don't nobody care about us. Well, we was riding. He said, don't nobody care about us. You know, I'm the XYZ generation. Don't nobody care. You know, I mean, I probably won't live to get 21. I said, why you say that? Yeah. He said, because don't nobody care. I said, but you don't shorten your life. Only God does that.
Right.
Why would you think that? But a couple of weeks later, he came back. But I told him he was banned. But he came back, and I was standing at the door. I said, he thought, he wasn't going to be remembered. I said, yo, didn't I tell you couldn't come here no more?
Right.
He said, yeah, but if you let me in, I promise you, I give you my word, I won't do anything.
Right.
And I apologize for what I did the last time. I said, you don't have to apologize for the last time. You gave me your word. Just keep that.
Right.
And most people don't understand unless you get a young person, and that's on any street level.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't get their word, they're not going to do it. If they don't say, I give you my word, they're not going to do it.
Right.
Because their word is what binds them with other young people.
That's awesome.
You know, and that's with anybody. I've dealt with young ladies that would fight other young ladies, and I'm put you in jail.
You're right.
You ain't coming back.
Right.
Go call your mom.
Yeah.
Go outside my building. Call your mom. I'll meet when she come here. Then we'll talk.
Right.
And talk to their moms and tell them what happened and let them know. And they said, well, one lady said, hey, I told her about hanging around with these fast girls.
Mm-hmm.
If you let her in, you don't have to. Mm-hmm. But if you let her in, she said, if you're gonna act right, she said, yeah, Mom, I act okay. She said, okay. Well, I said, well, she said she would. Then I let her in. And after that, I had no problem with her.
Awesome.
Because it's really, you gotta hold people accountable.
Yep.
When you hold them accountable, they will act civilized and they will act like, hey, I gave my word, and my word is
it's bond.
It's bond. Because did not Jesus Christ give his word? Why would you not give your word?
Right.
So these things that we sometimes overlook when we deal with young people.
Right.
It's just treating them like people, not being their friends, but being someone that they can talk to with authority and make sure that, hey, he's going to check on me. He's not going to let me get away with anything.
Right.
And I think that's really what's the problem with young people. They feel like nobody really cares.
Right. No one's listening.
Yeah,
So your big thing is you have to listen to them. They'll tell you everything you need to know. Just listen.
Hello. I didn't say it. I didn't say it, but see, y'all keep thinking I say things because I think I know everything. I don't know nothing. That's why I bring people over here to explain things the way you do.
Absolutely.
Because it's important, because I do this because I have 7 kids and I got 13 grandkids. So if I've been blessed with 7 kids to finish high school, I want 7 more families.
Absolutely.
Or 7 more kids
right.
to finish high school and go on to college to become professors and teachers and principals.
Absolutely.
You can't get it no other way.
Right.
Ain't no sitting over here like you said. You had to stop and then you had to go back.
Right.
You didn't give up, and that's the key point. Want to send a shout out to Mr. Johnson. How you doing? Welcome to the show. But again, I want you to give out that website because we got less than 4 minutes to wrap it up.
So our website is cisofhamptonroads.org. There you will see a flyer for our golf tournament coming up April 11th, 2019 at Cedar Point in Suffolk. So once you see that flyer, if you click on it, it'll take you to the website where you can sign up to golf. Men, women, boys, girls, doesn't matter. And you can also figure out what level of sponsorship you'd like to commit to. So it has sponsorship availabilities. And then also the Wawa Foundation has named us one of the top 4 nonprofit heroes here in Hampton Roads and the Peninsula. So if you select or go to the Wawa Foundation, you can select Communities and Schools of Hampton Roads, and that way you can vote for us, and you have until December 4th to do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Some information. If you text me that, I'll put it back on the website.
I'm not going to leave until you vote for us.
Oh, okay.
And I'll make sure it's on the website now.
Oh, okay. Hello. She knows I said I had an appointment. You know what I'm saying? Then she's going to make me do it now.
Right now.
Hey, Mr. Johnson, another great show. Thank you, my man. You know, Mr. Johnson is always always watch and view
awesome.
The best of the 757. He's an alumni of the best of the 757 Community Talk Show.
Love it.
You know, I'm gonna have to have an alumni party.
There you go.
Know, for all the people that watch and view. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much for the
opportunity. I hope that you'll be able to come back and share some more information, or if you got some upcoming events.
Okay.
Don't hesitate to let us know. We're about the community. We're about our young people.
Absolutely.
And 2019 is, you know, I will be doing some other things in the community. But, you know, everything takes time to put it in place. But I'm working diligently to get my website done. My son, he's working on it. That's what he does for a living.
Okay.
You know, but it seems like when it comes to my website, it takes longer. You know, you can say, you ain't paying.
Yeah, it's going to take a while.
I get real money. But he designed it because he puts in the codes and stuff. It's actually built it from codes. It's the codes, not just getting a website like everybody else. These are decoded, so when you put things on there, nobody can go in it.
That's awesome.
You know, so that's why he does what he does.
Awesome.
But like I said, I hope that y'all can support this young lady's organization.
Communities and Schools of Hampton Roads.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. On cue. I didn't even have to say. That's what I'm talking about. I slid it right in there, right.
That was the alley-oop.
Yeah, that was the alley-oop.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do when you do a talk show. If I got all the information, then there's no need for you to be here.
Right.
Why do I need you to be here if I got all the information?
Exactly.
You know, I need for you to explain to the audience what you about so that they can they already know who I am.
Right.
They know I talk a lot. They already know that. That's why a lot of people are like, well, I'll watch it when I go home because he talks too much. You know, he won't, you know. But what we try to engage when we hear is to let the people get to know you. It's like being in your home. This is like, I ain't got no coffee or donuts now. No, I can't bring it in the studio. No, my pockets won't allow me to buy it. Either way. But it's like being at home. You want people to get to say, hey, I understood what she was talking about.
Right.
And it's not, I got to do the politics thing.
Right.
I got to call these names. I got to talk about, I ain't got to talk about nobody.
Right.
I just got to talk about how we can help.
Absolutely.
The 757. Because kids are dying.
Right.
I'm tired of turning on the news. Yeah. I want to turn on the news and they talking about who?
Right. Communities and Schools of Hampton Roads.
That's what I'm talking about.
And our golf tournament on April 11th, 2019.
Hey, there you go. And that website again?
CISofHamptonRoads.org.
Hey, well, that's it. I got to run. It's been fun. Thank you again.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Dr. Sinclair.
Thank you.
Sinclair, did I say that right?
You did.
I'm hard with names. You know, they keep throwing all these. When you study art, I got to study Renaissance and all those Italians and Greek. I can't even say my name.
Right.
Now I got to learn. Oh, come on, man. You know, come on. But you got to do what you got to do.
I gotcha.
But nevertheless, I'm going to do my best. And don't forget, we'll be back Thursday with another guest. And this Saturday, you know, I got one of the singers from 112.
Which one?
Next, the lead. I think he's the lead singer. I don't have the information in front of me. I got so many projects that I'm working on. I get it, but it'll be Saturday at 12:30 on the Best of the 757. They'll be in the building because they're going to be with Romante in concert. That's on the Thanksgiving weekend. But nevertheless, you'll get more information on my Facebook page. Remember, love yourself, put God first. and everything else will fall in place. It doesn't matter what others think about you. It's all in what you think about you. Until the next time, you've been listening and watching WODU, the heartbeat of Old Dominion.